Hello everyone, I'm Alan Fisher. On this episode of AZ Illustrated Science, we take you to a club that uses bicycles to get children outside. Also finding the right fit. It does more than improve your bike ride. And we'll show you some fast, efficient vehicles that run off of pedal power. But first, here's a look at the day's top stories.
A group of Roman Catholic leaders celebrated Mass at the border fence in Nogales today to raise awareness about immigration and pray for policy changes. Tucson Bishop Gerald Kakanis gave Holy Communion through the fence to people in Mexico. The Mass was the culmination of a two-day event showing Catholic leaders from across the United States the U.S.-Mexico border. It featured tours of the desert and Nogales, as well as a meeting with representatives from the U.S. Border Patrol. We'll have an in-depth look at that story tomorrow night on AZ Illustrated Metro. Tucson police say it could be weeks before an internal investigation into the actions of TPD officers during Saturday's confrontation with University of Arizona students is complete. Video of a Tucson police officer apparently shoving a young woman to the ground has led to complaints about police aggression. Tucson Police Chief Roberto Villaseñor told Arizona Public Media the officer used a tactic he was trained to use. The question is whether or not that tactic should have been used at that time. Villaseñor says the department will review video from cameras located on officers' uniforms that night. He's also asking the public to submit any footage they have of the incident. And the Arizona Senate passed a budget today, and as expected, it has significant differences than the spending plan passed by the House last week. Governor Jan Brewer right now is threatening a veto. And that's a look at tonight's headlines.
Tucson's first Boys and Girls Club bike club has kids turning off their screens and turning on to riding and playing outside. And the latest research suggests they're not just changing their habits, they're changing their health. Gisela Tellis has the story.
At the Boys and Girls Club's Roy Rockman Clubhouse on Tucson's south side, the kids are doing something unusual.
Right there. Ready? Let's go.
They're playing outside.
Signal!
A new bike club is luring them out of doors and into a new way of experiencing the world.
One of the big things when we first started working on the south side, I noticed that you didn't see a lot of kids riding bikes. And for me, it kind of breaks my heart because that's sort of the greatest part of childhood, right? Is you get that freedom and doing it with your family, and it's just a great activity and a great exercise.
As in many other communities she has studied, Monroy found a host of factors that were keeping people inside and limiting their opportunities to be healthy.
People in the past like to think of health as sort of this personal choice, but there are a lot of these structural barriers that keep you from being able to live a healthy lifestyle. Having access to food that's affordable and healthy, and it can be one of the barriers. The other thing is having safe places to walk, to ride bikes. If there are high rates of sort of crime in the area, that's going to make it more difficult. If you don't have the money to buy a bike for your kid, if you don't know how to fix your bike, and those are all things that sort of go beyond sort of that individual level and really has to do with access to resources. So it's what we refer to as the social determinants of health.
So when you're riding in a group, how do you have to ride?
Clubhouse director Rafael Duarte knows these social determinants well.
I'm from here, and I still get kids cussing me out, just hanging out at the park here. They broke our sign, I'm getting refixed. Not too long ago, there was a lady sitting at the park, or at the table right here. Some kids were throwing rocks at her and her daughter for no reason. And so it's like, I see why they don't ride. All right, here we go, get ready.
Whether it's lack of resources and time or concerns about safety that keep them in, kids are spending less time outside. Studies suggest the average child has 25% less free play time today than in 1981 and only spends about half as much time outdoors. Adults are also spending less time in nature, and people of all ages are spending more and more time, an average of 8 hours a day, in front of screens. Scientists say that disconnect between people and the outdoors comes with a cost. because seeing and being in nature benefits both physical and mental health.
There's research at many levels that shows, first of all, that people prefer to look at nature views, that people have better moods when, for example, their apartments have views of a natural scene or of a grove of trees. And then there's similar kinds of studies done in hospital settings. So Roger Ulrich did a famous landmark study in people who were recovering from gallbladder surgery, who randomly were assigned to beds that had a view of a grove of trees or a brick wall. And the people who had a view of a grove of trees left hospital on average a day sooner, needed less pain medication, and had better moods, fewer negative nurses' notes than people who had a view of a brick wall.
Sternberg studies how access to nature affects health. She says being outside is best, especially for kids.
Obesity is a huge epidemic. It's a very big problem for all ages, and especially for children. With children sitting at their computers and basically having a sedentary lifestyle, it's very important to find ways to exercise, and especially exercise outdoors, because exercising outdoors has been shown to have greater health impact than exercising indoors.
But even when we can't be outside, seeing the outside can boost health. In one study, Sternberg compared people's fight or flight stress response when working in a building with beautiful views and plenty of sunlight, and when working in a dark, crowded space.
And we actually were able to measure on two separate physiological measures of the stress response a decrease in stress levels in people in the new, beautiful, light and airy space compared to the people in the old, dark space. And what we were able to show is that even if you're not aware of it, the physical environment does affect your moods and your health and your stress response. And in that study, we even found changes in one measure of the stress response, the heart rate variability, when they went home at night while they were asleep.
Researchers don't yet know what it is about nature that's so good for health. Sternberg and her colleagues are creating a cross-disciplinary institute on place and well-being to answer that question. They're starting with Tumamoc Hill, an important ecological and archaeological site on Tucson's west side that's popular with walkers and joggers. By gathering data from people who visit the hill, Sternberg hopes to tease apart just what it is about nature that draws people and seems to help them.
And one of the questions we want to ask is, what can we do? What skills can we give people, whether it's children or adults, all ages, all cultures? What skills can we give them to help them to get a greater benefit of being outdoors?
Martha Monroy teamed up with Tucson's Boys and Girls Clubs, Pima County, and a number of other partners to help provide those skills. They secured bikes and helmets and are teaching the children who frequent the Southside Clubhouse how to ride outside safely. Duarte says he's seen a significant change in just a few months.
They want to ride. They're asking all the time about when's the next class, when are we going to do something. They saw those bikes in the closet over there and they were wondering what they were for. They ask about it all the time now.
For Monroy, that kind of change is powerful. She says it can do more than benefit young bodies and minds. It can help heal the whole community.
We're going to do this more often to get you more confident, more lessons.
Taking back your community, saying we're not going to let this keep us from exercising and being healthy and having a healthy, integrated community, I think is really important.
Let's go. Good job.
To get the most out of your ride, you need a bike that fits. But how do you know if a bike fits you well? And why is that important? Kurt Rosenquist from Fitworks Cycling Support is here to show us. And also along with Kurt is Georgia Davis, our producer. Thanks for joining us, both of you.
Thank you.
Kurt, why is it important to have a bike properly fitted to the rider?
Because when you're riding, the properly fit bike allows you to stay comfortable, minimize the chance of injury, be most efficient so you can go faster or farther, or really just meet your cycling objectives as best that you can.
And Kurt, is fitting important to the whole spectrum of cycling, from professional racer to bike commuters like Georgia and to people who just cruise around the block in the evening?
Yeah, it's really using the same principles really across all of those types of riders. You're just trying to get your energy into the bike most efficiently without the bike more or less getting in the way, and get the bike set up so that you're not wrestling with it, where it's tugging you out of the right position or pushing you into the wrong position. And then also trying to reduce drag or wind resistance as best as you can so you can get to work faster or finish the race faster.
And Kurt, what are some of the factors that you look at in terms of a person's position on the bike when you're doing a fitting?
Well, I think it's easiest to think of the pedal stroke and how, again, we're getting energy into the bike in sort of simple science terms of it being like a 5-bar linkage system. We have all these lever arms with pivot points and muscles acting on those different levers. And so how we're positioned over the cranks and the pedals is going to affect which muscles we're using and how much force we can actually apply to the cranks. And that's going to pull the chain taut and push the bike along as best as we can do it. So that way we really get our energy most directly into the bike. And so I'm looking at angles that really ensure that it's all getting in there and you're not losing energy, or it's not so compressed that you're hurting your knees or losing energy with too much flexion and hurting yourself somewhere else.
So it's a health thing too. You want to prevent injuries.
Right. It's like really anything else. If the balance is off or the weight distribution is off, or you're reaching to get the job done somehow, or you're teetering somehow on the edge of it, feeling comfortable or not, just as soon as you start to go a little harder, something's going to give or something's going to have to compromise, and that's when injury arises.
And Kurt, looking at Georgia sitting here on her bike, what are some of the things that you would look at in terms of making sure that she was efficiently sitting on her bicycle pedaling, not injuring herself, that kind of thing?
Well, Georgia, if you start pedaling, I would start to look at what the ankle is doing and what the foot is doing and how much the knee has to extend, and really looking for enough flexion in all of those angles there, all of those joints, that essentially Georgia is always spring-loaded in the amount that she's able to push into the pedal and never having to quite reach to get at it. So if she were a little girl trying to ride an adult bike, and flopping from side to side, just trying to stay on the pedals, obviously at that point she'd have no force on the pedal at the bottom, so the hips would be rocking, et cetera. So even on her own bike now, we're looking for it to be close enough that she can always press into it. And that also that she's not so far forward or so far back that it takes real energy to come across the top and really get started.
And Kurt, if a seat is too high or too low, can that cause an injury also?
Yeah, it's always going to cause an injury somewhere based on whatever muscles are being asked to contribute that don't normally want to contribute. So if it's too high and it's extending the hamstrings too much or the calves too much, or really importantly, asking the lower back to jump in to help, then something there is going to give for sure. It's really going to complain. If it's too low, there's so much compression in those joints in the knees or in the ankles or the hips that there's the shear force on there is going to make something hurt and potentially cause some other type of tracking problem or tendonitis or something.
And Kurt, looking at Georgia here for a few seconds, what can you say about her seat position up and down and front to back?
It seems like it's just a little high and how she's having to reach to finish out the bottom of the downstroke there, and consequently she's rocking a little bit in the hips, just trying to keep the force going there. And as you can imagine, at that point, either the force is going to drop off a little bit on the pedal, so it's not going to be quite as efficient, or those muscles on the backside are going to have to jump in to help, and then that's where the injuries are going to possibly show up.
So you would recommend a little bit of a lower seat position for Georgia then?
And certainly if you imagine pedaling without being clipped in, like a little kid riding, or most people on the planet riding bikes for just basic transportation, they're not attached to the pedal somehow, then you really can't fake it. If the seat's too high or too low, you can't even reach the pedal effectively at all. And so then it's much more obvious. Here, all that happens is she reaches, she doesn't fall off, but she reaches, and again, there's maybe just a little more chance that something's going to hurt later. So at this point, I'd probably just want to drop that. We could even do that just to show what that would be like.
Does that feel more comfortable, Georgia?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And generally, the more elite cyclists always have the seat on the low side, just so that there's always the ability for them to push hard into the pedals, and they're never reaching for it.
Okay.
They always have
And
it.
Kurt, is there anything that you would address with Georgia in terms of her handlebar position and in the reach that she has on the bike?
Yeah, so then looking towards the front here, probably the most important thing about the power that you produce, or the effective pedal stroke and the effective posture, is having the most open possible hip angle. So through all the measurements available in cycling, that, as it turns out, the power output is directly proportionate to hip angle. So rather than trying to pivot from the hips forward, you really want to be sitting upright on the saddle and then flexing forward.
So it comes from the back rather than the hips?
Right. And so that allows you to get low in the front while still keeping this open. Now, if you're sitting on a very upright commuting bike, or with straight bars, or a balloon tire bike or something, it really doesn't matter. You can do anything you want. But if you're trying to get low like this and try to reduce your wind resistance, then you have to tuck your tailbone under and keep that open there. And that just means this has to be close enough that you can do that and flex your back without being stretched out where you can't reach anymore.
Is Georgia too stretched out at the
So
moment?
this is too stretched out, where even if she wanted to, she really couldn't probably do what I'm describing posturally, because this is so long. And obviously, in making an adjustment here, it would come down to having to change some equipment, because there's nothing to telescope in or out. So luckily, this is quite a long reach here, and this is a long reach there in terms of connecting frame to where hands would land. So either this could be shortened, or maybe more importantly, this could be shortened. And I have here a handlebar that's really short in its reach. So if you imagine this being clamped in the same spot there, you can see that's shorter by 4 or 5 inches or something. And so then really the bike effectively gets pulled all the way back to where all of her hand positions are fully accessible to her. That way she doesn't have to jump way out to reach the brakes or the gears.
And what about width?
Yeah, Kurt, we have about 45 seconds left. How about handlebar width? Where does that come into play?
That's going to come into play just in getting comfortable for where your shoulders hang down and your arms want to drape from there. And then generally the narrower, it's going to potentially be a little bit less drag in the wind, but the wider will give you a little bit more stability. So you really just want to go based on comfort and the type of riding you're doing.
And Kurt, in the last little bit we have left, if Georgia is a commuter, how much faster is she going to get to work being properly fitted on her bike?
Oh, at least 13% faster this way.
And that's scientifically proven
Yeah.
then. Great. Well, Kurt and Georgia, thanks so much for being on today.
Thank you.
I'm Judy Woodruff. On the next NewsHour, General Motors CEO in the hot seat, facing questions from Congress over recall cars. That's Tuesday on the PBS NewsHour.
Very few doctors of physics or astronomy are Latino or African American. Ariel Diaz wants to be one of them.
Never in my life have I been motivated to do something. And this is the first thing that touched me. It was like, I really like it and I want to do it.
And his university wants to help. I'm Steve Inskeep. Minority students who want to gaze at the stars on the next morning edition from NPR News.
Human-powered vehicles are gaining in popularity. There is even an International Human-Powered Vehicle Association and Human-Powered Speed Championships. Our next guests are very familiar with that world. They design vehicles powered by pedals. Dustin Huynh is the secretary of the University of Arizona chapter of the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, and Sabrina Ball is the chapter's president. Dustin and Sabrina, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for inviting us.
Sabrina, can you tell us a little bit about ASME and the Human Powered Vehicle Project?
Yeah, so the American Society of Mechanical Engineers is a professional organization. We, as a national organization, sponsor various competitions such as the Human Powered Vehicle Challenge. As a chapter, we provide resources to students, particularly mechanical engineers, And one of our biggest projects is this here, the human-powered vehicle. This is our main bread and butter as far as like hands-on engineering experience.
And Dustin, what do you actually do with this vehicle? Is this used to commute? Is this used to race? What is the purpose of this vehicle?
Well, for this specific one, at the end of the year, there's a huge competition that the national organization throws on where after you've built the bike, you compete it against all these other colleges in your division.
And what are some of those competitions? Are they speed competitions? Are they handling competitions, cornering, that kind of thing?
Well, besides the design aspect, there's also an obstacle course where you'd go around as many laps as you can through the obstacle course without breaking down, as well as a sprint where you try and get your fastest time after passing these speed traps.
And Sabrina, is this bicycle more efficient than a typical road or mountain bike would be?
It is. It is for it's kind of a different category, I guess is what I'm trying to say. This one particularly has been made for stability rather than speed. This two-wheel recumbent style where two wheels are in the front and one wheel is in the back. It's more for stability. If you were to design a trike with two wheels in the back and one wheel in the front, it's actually built for speed. So really, it's built well for what it's meant to do. However, if you were to try to compete with this against like Dustin's high-speed road bike, you're probably going to lose.
Probably especially going up hills, right?
Exactly.
Definitely.
And Dustin, what is the planned top speed for this vehicle?
Well, we're hoping to reach about 35 miles per hour. I actually took this out the other day and hit up to 30 miles per hour already, so 35 is not too far off.
Okay. And Sabrina, what role does gearing play in this? I know that you are kind of involved in the development of the gearing of this bicycle. What role does gearing play in this project?
It actually plays a huge role. For this specific design, we do want to hit that 35 mile an hour postmark. So what we actually did was selected the largest possible sprocket in the front and a very small sprocket in the back, so that way for every revolution of your front wheel, you get the most revolutions for your back wheel. So we wanted the highest gear ratio in order to hit that top speed.
And Dustin, I understand you're actually the rider or driver of this vehicle?
I'm one of the few from the team, yes.
Okay. And when you're approaching that top speed of 35 miles an hour, how fast is your cadence? How fast are your feet going around?
We try and hit at least around 90, but once you max out both the gear ratios, you're probably going to hit like maybe upwards 100, depending on how fast you plan on going.
Okay. And looking at the vehicle itself, Sabrina, it has a steel frame. Was that a choice? Was that based on strength or some other factor?
This is actually just our preliminary frame. So initially we chose a relatively thick steel because we didn't exactly have numbers. We didn't want it to break down. And we always knew we were going to build a second version of this. This steel itself was actually relatively inexpensive, which is why we also chose it.
And what will the next step be in terms of design or technology as far as the frame goes?
We're actually currently in the process of building our second frame, which has an aluminum rear end and a chromoly front end. Chromoly is actually a lot stronger, so we can use a lot less of it to get the same strength that we need.
So it'll be a lighter weight vehicle then?
Correct.
Okay. And Dustin, I understand that you're involved in the aerodynamic aspect of the vehicle. Can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, so having a recumbent style where you're kind of reclined, that already drops your frontal area so that there's a lot less wind drag coming from your body. So being that lower position definitely drops that as the amount of drag, as well as if you threw on like a little wind fairing, just like a little kind of like a windshield almost, that also helps to reduce air drag as well.
And is a fairing something that you guys have already designed for this?
We actually purchased it with the help of our huge sponsor, Aho Bikes. They helped us get the part. It's just your standard recumbent wind fairing.
And Dustin, you mentioned that you're going to be going to a competition. Where will that be held, please?
The competition will be held at San Jose, California.
Okay, and what kind of a track do you ride on? Is it just a flat parking lot, or what is the competition area?
So for the sprint event, we are actually going to be on a velodrome, one that you've probably seen track bikes riding around. And for the obstacle course, it's going to be on a parking lot, but there's going to be different areas where there's going to be hills and bumps that you'd have to overcome.
Okay, and Sabrina, how many ASME members are involved in this specific project?
This particular project, there's about 15 students who show up every once in a while, and then there's a core 10 that are actually going to competition. So 10 key members and the 5 or so drop-ins.
And have team members built this from the ground up? For example, did they weld the frame together?
This frame in particular was actually welded by my father. However, elements of it were actually welded by Dustin here. So it is a very student-led project. And
was the design itself, the design of the vehicle, was that done by your team?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And as far as riding the vehicle, how does this differ from riding your normal road bike, Dustin?
Well, on a road bike, you're more sat upwards, maybe lean a little bit more forward. Whereas on this bike, you're kind of laying down almost on the seat. It's a little bit more comfortable that way. Takes a lot of pressure off of other areas.
Okay. Have you ever crashed on this vehicle?
Not crashed yet, but we got close.
You've gotten close. Tell me about that. Is it tip over because of the three-wheel design?
The way we had the brakes set up, if you put too much pressure on one side, it's going to slide over, and that's where the tipping kind of becomes an issue.
Okay. And is this vehicle adjustable for people of different sizes? For example, someone who's shorter or taller than you are, Dustin?
Yeah, so for someone my size, we made sure that the cranks weren't too far, so we did include an adjustable boom. That way we could extend it for longer or taller riders, as well as shorten it for someone short as myself.
Okay. And Sabrina, we have about a minute left. Can you tell me, is this the design of the future for cycling? I mean, are we going to see people, you see a few people on bikes like this on Tucson streets now, but is this the wave of the future, the recumbent trike?
It quite possibly is. It does have a lot of advantages. Like Dustin was saying, it's a lot more stable. So you can just kind of cruise on this and kind of enjoy your surroundings a little bit more than a two-wheeled bicycle.
Okay. And we have about 30 seconds left. Dustin, about how much does a vehicle like this cost to design and manufacture and put together? Do you have any idea?
Well, if you just purchased something off the shelf, you're looking at about $2,500 upwards. But for us, this took total about $1,000 with all the welding and the cost of the different components.
Well, Sabrina and Dustin, I want to thank you both very much for joining us today with your human-powered vehicle.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
That's our show. To keep up with the latest news and watch the segments from this and other editions of AZ Illustrated, go to our website, news.azpm.org. I'm Alan Fisher. Thanks for watching.